What we have to remember is that these wills, these contracts, and these agreements that narcissists have gotten themselves into has everything to do with their false self-image. So when they go out into the world, they don't even present as themselves. They wear these masks. That's part of the terms of their agreement, is never to know who they really are. So never to reveal to anyone who they really are. This is why a lot of us don't feel like we know the narcissist or the cluster personality type. Okay, so when we think about the terms to the agreement that they have and how they try to manipulate and bully us into fulfilling those terms, well, we have to call BS on that. We have to call foul on that. But when you think about how the theme of the relationship goes with him or her, yeah, this is where the terms to those agreements come up. What are some of the terms? I mentioned one, that the narcissist wears masks. They have to, in order to fulfill the terms of the agreement, they have to wear a mask. So they can't allow anyone to get to know him or her. This is why they don't have empathy enough to connect with anyone. They don't even desire to connect with anyone. So how do they get you to fulfill that contract? Well, first of all, they want you to stay in your body. They don't want you to start critically thinking about what's going on in the relationship. So as long as you're staying in your body, you're going to be reactionary to whatever he or she may say or whenever they push your buttons. You notice how they like to push your buttons in order to get you to become reactionary? Yes, this is why. Because they don't feel, they don't emotionally regulate. They're wearing the mask. So you don't really know what's going on with them. When things start happening in a relationship and you want to connect with him or her, it's very hard to do so. Think about the terms to their contract. First of all, you need to know that they have a contract. What is the contract that they have agreed to? This is something they do in secret. Remember the vow that they made to never love anyone for any reason anymore? Okay, so this ties into that contract, that imaginary contract that narcissists have you and I fulfilling, or the terms of those contracts that they have us fulfilling, is bogus. This is the #1 message I want everyone to think about today when they watch this video and long after you watch it. Remember, whenever you're dealing with your narcissist and cluster personality type, they are emotionally bullying you more than likely to fulfill the terms of an imaginary contract. Remember, they have a contract which has nothing to do with you. So in order to keep their false self-image relevant, they have to emotionally bully other people, actually manipulate other people to fulfill terms of an imaginary contract. But it goes deeper. In order to tolerate you long enough to get the narcissist to supply from you so they can keep their false self-image happy, right? Remember, they wear the mask. Another thing they have to do is they have to get you to buy into their reality, their perspective of their reality. You have to buy it. Once you buy it, you're boxed in. Okay? So when they knock you off your square, they're boxing you into their square. You have to remember that narcissists and cluster personality types have a contract and they're pulling you in to their square. They're boxing you in. Look at it as their personal hell and they're trapping you in it. When narcissists push your buttons and you become reactionary, you're emotional, you're in your ego. You lack emotional discipline. Whereas with the narcissist and cluster personality type, they lack emotional regulation. There's a difference. You know how to feel emotions such as joy, gratitude, and love. See, you can authentically do that. Narcissists and cluster personality types who lack the ability to emotionally regulate, they can't even, the only thing they can do is pretend to feel those higher vibration emotions, such as joy, love, gratitude. See, that comes naturally to you. Doesn't come naturally to your narcissist or cluster personality type. So whereas you can emotionally regulate, they cannot emotionally regulate. All right, so they don't feel the empathy. But this is something that a lot of us already know. But I mention this because this is how they get you to become reactionary. When they get you to become reactionary, this means you lack emotional discipline, which is reflective of your being off your square and boxed into theirs. So you're doing, thinking, and feeling the way they've groomed you to think, feel, and behave. As you're critically thinking about the theme of the relationship, what is the theme of the relationship? What's actually going on in the relationship? Manipulation, pulling shenanigans, engaging in diabolical tactics. This is what actually goes on in your relationship with him or her. They may be lying. They may be cheating. They may have a gambling issue. They may have a drinking problem. They may be on drugs, whatever, right? All this fuels, okay? And all of this gives them the control and the fuel that they need and or want in the relationship with you and other people. This is also how they wear the mask. All right, so this is the term of their contract. So one of the critical questions, I think, is what would be a great critical question would be, is your narcissist spiritually possessed or are they demonically possessed? Are they spiritually influenced or are they demonically influenced? There's a big difference between these two contrasts. See, our spirits are connected to something. All right? It can be connected to our bodies. Our spirit can be connected to our circumstances. But whenever the narcissist and cluster personality type knocks you off your square and they box you into their square, you are no longer connected to your body. You're connected to the circumstances. The narcissist does not want you to remember anything other than what hurts you. So when you are not connected to your body, you can become reactionary. Emotions are your energy in motion. I mentioned this in several of my videos. Your energy has to move. So for instance, when you feel anger, this is just an expression of an injustice that you have experienced. There's not that, anger gets a bad rap. It's what you do with it that counts. It's not the anger itself that's bad. Stagnated emotion means stagnated energy. Stagnated energy is reflective of your being boxed in to your narcissist world. You're knocked off your square and you're boxed in theirs. Is your spirit connected to your body at that point, or is it connected to your circumstances? What are the circumstances? The circumstances is that you are involved with someone who has a cluster personality type. All right, you're involved in a narcissistic codependent relationship. You're dealing with two components, narcissism and codependency, both which are highly addictive. Once again, is your spirit connected to your body or is it connected to your circumstances? The narcissistic codependent relationship can feel like a twilight zone, whereas you're experiencing a parallel reality. The narcissist has deemed you as all bad, for the 5th time or the 6th time today, right? Or the 10th time today, they have deemed you have fallen from grace. They have deemed you bad. And they're walking around convincing you and everyone else that they're all good. When you know that's not the case. Their behavior is not always good. It's not always positive. So when you're buying into the perception of their reality, so when you buy into what they're selling you, and that is their perspective of their reality, this is what projection is all about. When you buy into it, this is another way that you know that you have been knocked off your square and you have been boxed into their square. Narcissists can't take your energy away. They can pull from it and they can utilize it, okay, to keep their mask on, which is another, again, that's a term of their agreement, of their contract. Keep that mask on, no matter what. So when they pull from your energy field, when they pull from your energy, they're able to do that, okay? They don't take your energy away. That's false. Stop telling yourself that. For all of you who are telling yourselves that, the narcissist is never able to take away your energy. They can pull from it. Okay? The reason why you feel drained is because you lack emotional discipline. In other words, you're not able to maintain your own energy properly. So when the narcissist comes along and pulls from your energy, you feel drained. This does not excuse what they do. I'm just pointing out to all of you why we feel drained. I've gone through this. What I found out was that I wasn't utilizing my own energy properly. When they box you into their square, knocking you off yours, they can pull from your energy. You feel drained because they're playing with your mind as well as your heart. You're more susceptible, okay, to being toyed with, to doing what they want you to do. Now, I know this may seem, this might sound a little hopeless, but it's not. I just want everyone to understand why it is that no matter your cries, no matter your pleads, no matter your sacrificing, your compromising, all of the years of this, the narcissist is unmoved because they are knocking you off your square and they're boxing you into theirs. Therefore, they can do pretty much what they want to do. This does not mean it always has to be like that. Your energy belongs to you, so you have to learn how to use it. Two things happens. You have to learn how to release toxic energy that doesn't serve you, and you also have to learn how to channel your own energy. This way you're not feeling drained, no matter what they say or do. When you don't allow your energy to move, again, emotions is your energy in motion. When you don't allow that to happen, well, this means you're available for the narcissist to pull from your energy field. Your availability enables your vibration to operate low enough to stay boxed in to their square. Narcissist knocks you off your square and you are boxed into theirs. This means that you are available for them to continue to pull from your energy. That means your vibration has to be low. I know some of you don't want to hear this, but just think about it. In order for two beings or more to share a space for a long period of time, the vibration must be level. It must match. Okay, it must be level. The vibration must be level. Otherwise, two energies, two spirits or more cannot share the same space for a long period of time. Energies and spirits often fight for dominance within that space. So when narcissists and cluster B personality types knock us off our square, they're boxing us into their square so they can get their way. They can continue to wear that mask. They can continue not to connect to everyone else. They can continue to fulfill the terms of their contract. See, they're dipping and they're dodging the terms that they're responsible for, but they're getting you to fulfill those terms. And on top, and then how do they do that? By creating these imaginary contracts for you to fulfill. It's almost like a third-party situation. It's like the collection agency that contacts you on behalf of the said company to get the debt, to get you to pay the debt, right? So what happens is the narcissist and cluster B personality type, they're telling you that you owe a debt, okay? But you haven't heard from the initial party. The initial party is the narcissist contract. That's who you need to be talking to. Where's the initiating contract? Where did the contract start? How did you get caught up in it? Well, the narcissist is the middleman telling you you have a debt to owe, when really it's their debt and they owe it. But they're trying to get you to fulfill that term. You ever wonder why you continue to think about your narcissist even if they're not physically around? Now this has everything to do with the contract that I'm talking about. Okay, so you are boxed into their square. That means that when you are knocked off your square and you're boxed into the narcissist square, that means that your mind and your body and your spirit more than likely will seek to please your narcissist, your cluster B personality type. Okay, and this is very important to know. This is why even when they're not around, you're thinking about how to please him or her. You're trying to figure out how you can get the peace or maintain the peace in the relationship. Well, first of all, understand and understand that your narcissist does not want peace in the relationship. It goes against them fulfilling the contract. The contract is that they must wear a mask. That means they have to hide. That means they have to lie, cheat, manipulate all the time, 24/7, constantly. This will keep their false self-image thriving and surviving at the expense of you and everyone else around him or her. Okay, remember that mask must stay on. So when your narcissist and cluster personality type has you pleasing him or her and you feel like crap, this is why. Because you are knocked off your square and you are boxed into theirs. It's again like their personal hell and you're subjected to it. It's not even, again, it's not your hell. You have nothing to do with it, except they have pulled you in to it. So now, in order to fulfill the terms of that imaginary contract that I was talking about, that they have created, right? That's part of the term. Those are part of the terms. You must fulfill their desires. You must fit your mind, your spirit, okay? Even sell your soul to him or her. Now, I know that's very deep. Some of you may be very uncomfortable with what I just said. This is not my intention. My intention is that you all take away the message of this video, and that is, there is no way that you can be happy with your narcissist when you are knocked off your square and you're boxed into theirs. So how long have you been dealing with an unyielding, uncompromising, unflinching spirit? Unflinching and uncompromising energy. You've been dealing with this for a while probably. So whenever you have been knocked off of your square, just think about it. You probably haven't been feeling your best. You've been boxed in to your narcissist square or in their world, fulfilling the contracts of this imaginary contract, the terms of this imaginary contract for a long time. Narcissists and cluster personality types, they have made a secret vow along with creating these imaginary contracts that they will not love anyone anymore for any reason. So when you are going through all these emotions and it seems like you can't get your mind off of the narcissist and cluster personality type, it is because they have knocked you off your square and they have boxed you into theirs. So this is why, you know, it just seems like you're doing everything to please them, but yet they still give you nothing but drama, conflict. Well, you know, you're fulfilling or you're trying to fulfill the terms of a contract that you never knew existed. So you have to be willing to take chances and you have to be willing to make changes in order to thrive forward past narcissistic codependent relationships. Narcissists and cluster personality types, they don't want you doing either one of those unless it supplies him or her. Anything that goes against the terms of the contract, the imaginary contract that they have created for you, they will not go with. So whenever you start to take care of yourself, don't expect support from your narcissist and cluster personality type. Okay? Whenever you're dealing with your narcissists and cluster personality types who seem to have an unyielding and an uncompromising spirit or energy, just know that he or she is giving you the overall message that you cannot be on your square. Okay? And they be happy with it. Either you're on your square or you are in theirs. That's just the bottom line. Tool number 1, practice mindfulness. What comprises of mindfulness? Practicing assertion, okay? Practicing self-preservation, practicing emotional discipline, and practicing personal boundaries. These things will come naturally to you once you start to exercise mindfulness. Tool number 2, strategize your methods for continuing to thrive forward past narcissistic codependent relationships. Tool number 3, in order to stay on your square, take some time out to know yourself. A lot of us spend too much time trying to please the narcissists and cluster personality types, not knowing that we're attempting to do the impossible, and that is to fulfill terms of an imaginary contract we never knew existed. This is another way narcissists can continue to have your mind and play with your heart. You don't even know what's going on. It's just reflective of them knocking you off your square and boxing you into theirs. I'm Luminousz Ztarr. I certainly hope everyone has enjoyed this video. Check the description box below. Post your comments. Please like and or share this video. Friendly reminder, there are new videos that come out weekly on this channel. Until next time, take care of yourself. Mwah.